The holidays are coming up, and there's going to be a lot of people around. And this is an extremely simple dish that you can use up leftovers. Everybody loves a frittata. Why not make one? I think we oughta. You can use any leftovers that you have. In this case, I'm using some potatoes that I'm pretending were from holiday dinner. And I have some peas, and I have some cut up onions. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut these in half so they're not quite so circular. If you have a big leftover thing, sausages, potatoes, anything, just make them into sort of almost like bite-sized pieces. Defrost some peas. You don't have to blanch them, just defrost them with warm water. Grate a little bit of Parmesan. Cut up some onions, unless you have already cut up onions, and count your number of guests. How many people are here? 6 people. If there's 6 people, I suggest doing 2 to 3 eggs per person, so it's a lot of eggs. So let's say we have 6 people. So here we go. 1, 2, I don't know how many eggs I did. I lost count. I don't know how many people are in here. How many people? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're gonna have a nice size frittata. Okay, so here we go. You're gonna take a whisk and you're gonna incorporate these. What that means is you shouldn't be able to tell what's a yolk and what's a white. And I need a little milk, and Reggie took the milk for the pictures. Reggie, bring the milk. This is Reggie. She does all our still photography. Get out of the shot.
All right.
I'm going to put a little bit of milk in here. You can put cream or half and half as well. Okay. Ta-da. All right. I'm not going to season it until I pour it into the baking dish because it can turn the eggs gray. It's actually a true thing. That is kind of a Julia Child thing, but it's actually true. Word to the wise, prepare your pan, okay? I like to use butter. So what you want to do is thoroughly grease your pan so that the frittata comes out when they slice it. Oops. Do you like my new apron, everybody? It was a present from my friend David. This is the easiest way to feed people, I'm telling you, and they love it, all right? So all you did was crack some eggs in a bowl, cut up some leftovers, that's it, all right? And turn your oven on to 350. And we're going to just warm up the ingredients, saute the ingredients to bring out a little bit more flavor. We're going to pour everything into this dish and bake it in the oven. We're going to kind of make a beurre noisette. It means hazelnut butter, but what it really means is brown butter. The other thing about noisette is that it also has strangely, also kind of tastes nutty in a weird way. I'm just putting the shallots in. This is something you can throw together on the spur of the moment. Okay, I'm gonna just saute those for a second, and I'm gonna season. Oh, Leonard, don't do it. I'm gonna season this now with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Now I'm gonna throw in my potatoes, and you're basically just flavoring these, sort of. You know what I mean? Like, they're already cooked, they're leftovers. Okay, now's a good time to give it a little taste, see if it has enough salt. Oh my goodness. These are dried herbs from my garden. Thyme, parsley, rosemary, a little bit of sage, marjoram, and oregano. Saute, warm and saute, warm and saute. It's lovely. I'm now going to take my prepared pan and I'm going to slightly season my eggs now. A little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And I'm going to pour this in. I mean, look at that. Who can say no? And into this, I'm going to pour let me put a little more salt. My eggs. Look how easy this is. Pouring my eggs in. Okay. Some of it floats, some of it doesn't. That's exactly what you want. And I'm going to put this in a 350 oven, and I'm going to look at it. I don't know how long it takes, 30 minutes maybe? You look at it, like when you push the pan, it should very barely wiggle in the middle, because you're making essentially a quiche, really. But you want it to have, not to be rock solid, overcooked scrambled eggs, but also not to be too loose, you know. So this goes into a 350 oven. Nestle that in there. Goodbye, frittata. I hope you're not a total disaster. So one suggestion I would have if you're making frittatas is don't use a vegetable that releases a lot of liquid, like tomatoes, for instance, okay? If you're going to use them, sort of lay them on at the very end, because they will release liquid and destroy the frittata, essentially. So you want to use things like potatoes, peas, spinach. You can sort of just put raw spinach in the eggs, and it will cook in the frittata. It's delicious. It's a fantastic meal. You can also arrange it if you have the inkling to do so, the desire to do so. You can try to arrange the vegetables in the liquid so that they make a design. I never do that. Okay, it's time to take your frittata out. How do I know that? Because when I pushed it with my hand, it only barely jiggled in the middle. If you like, before this stage, you can put a little grated cheese on top and just very quickly broil it, but keep an eye on it. I don't like to put the cheese because I think it's very rich. Anyway, so here's what the frittata looks like when it's done. Almost like a souffle. It's making a cool noise. So ours has a little bit of luxurious butter on the top, which I'm spinning around to distribute. That is what you call a superb frittata. I mean, you can see how quickly the cheese would melt, and then you would just hit it under the broiler, but you better watch it because you could burn it really easy. That's a delicious meal. You're gonna let it cool, then you can cut it into slices and serve it with a crisp salad. I can't even tell you. I mean, this is the bomb. Goodbye, frittata. I hope you're not a total disaster.